I am on a mission to shine light on Black excellence, to discover and reveal the excellence that is all around us, in our culture, our community, and in our stories. And today, we find it in Munford, Alabama, by way of Nigeria, unveiled by a desire to advance the Black community through entrepreneurship and leadership development. Success in business or any of life's endeavors is not something to be pursued, but rather something to be attracted by the person we become. Hey, what's up? This is Terry D. Swain, and I'm here with my partner, my friend, my buddy, Mr. King Arthur.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man.
Yeah.
Just blessed.
Amen.
So I'm not gonna prolong the time, man. I'm gonna jump right into it. I'm sure the people want to know, who is King Arthur?
King Arthur. Everybody knows of the storybook fairy tale, you know what I'm saying? A young lad pulled the sword out the stone, you know what I'm saying? And,
Right.
And I changed history, man. But that's it was a name just given to me, man, since back in the day, to be honest, man. I was like, rapping back in the day.
Okay.
Had a group called Trey Fi.
Yeah.
Some people know we had pretty good following, and they just dubbed me with it. They was like, "Yo, you can be King Arthur."
I like that. It
Right,
be fitting.
okay. Yeah, it was befitting. I was like, you know what, that'll work. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. But man, I'm a humble dude. I call myself a Renaissance man because I do a little bit of everything, and just a good friend. Ambitious, driven guy, and love the Lord, and just thankful every day.
What type of role does he play in your life?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, I feel like, I've never seen God, you know what I'm saying? So I try to be with him out here on earth, whether it's when I'm in nature or if I'm with people, good friends, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the church, and just stay in his word and stay connected to him, because it really drives me in everything that I do. I wasn't always like this. I had a little bit of a past to myself, but having so many close calls and kiss with death, man, it just makes you. I believe an intelligent person has to stop and say, you know what?
Exactly.
It ain't just me making this stuff happen. There's some other stuff going on, So he's just revealed himself to me in that way, in many ways, and so I'm just like forever in his debt.
The last name is pronounced Oniah.
Yes, sir.
So Arthur Oniah.
Yeah.
So where are your roots originally from, man? Like where are you originally from?
Yeah. So Oniah's the last name is it's Nigerian.
Okay.
Yeah. So my tribe is the Igbo tribe.
Okay.
Yeah. So which is really dope. You know what I'm saying?
That is, man.
And but I was born here. I was born in the States. I was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So a little bit of Cajun, raised in Alabama.
The right mix.
Yeah, I got the right mix. Got a little dash, a little slap your mama, a little everything in there, man. A little goosey, a little, a little bit of everything, man. And then just got my stomps out here in Alabama, and grew up in Texas, man. Been in Texas for like 20 plus years, and decided to come back home and get back in touch with nature and back with my roots. And yeah, it's been a wonderful ride.
Seem to be well-rounded, man. Mm-hmm. Like you said, that's an awesome mix. I mean, a diversity that lets you know that you're real cultured, man. Mm-hmm. Nigeria, Alabama, Texas, New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Like that's a great mix, and I'm sure along the way you picked up a little bit of something from each place. I try to. So I really kind of pride myself on being able to connect with the people and understand cultures and languages and things like that. So I mean, it's everything. That's what we're here for, right? That's right.
Be with each other, be with people. So I'm blessed, man. Fortunate, born in the year I was born in, the time I was born in, and where I was born. So let's talk a little bit about what you do, man. I know. Just explain to the people what is TOP. TOP. So TOP is a play on words with my last name, and it's really just the name brand of my channel. Mm-hmm. It stands for the Oniah Project. Okay. The tagline is leadership, development, growth. It's something. It wasn't something I just came up with overnight. I definitely
real people, real success, right?
The Real People, Real Success. Now that I'll explain. That's tied into my other channel. That's
okay.
CTV.
Let's do TOP first.
Yeah, but TOP is more like a lifestyle channel. So you see a lot of branding with me, branding the TOP thing, because that's me. That's me living my life, and it just happens to coincide with, you know, kind of my mission and what I do as far as the leadership, development, growth. But TOP is, like I said, it's a lifestyle channel, so it's a little bit of fun, a little entertainment, but it's also sprinkled in there, leadership, business, you know, self-development, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So
good deal. So leadership, development,
growth.
And growth. Let's talk about those before we talk about the other channel. So leadership, what does leadership look like to you?
Oh man, this leadership right here.
That's
you know
right, man. Leading the way,
taking charge and sharing with the people and helping. You know, we're only here for a minute time. You know, in the span of life, and you never know when their time could come. And really, it's just I've learned. I have a bachelor's degree in business management.
Nice.
So I studied business. I've definitely clocked close to 10,000, if not more, hours studying this stuff.
Right.
So, avid reader and. You know, starting out my path out is management. You know, it's like most people, I'm going to be a manager. Nothing against managers, you know. But I saw a long time ago, early on, that, you know, as I was working and going through school, that people who were managers weren't per se the biggest leaders or
the
organizations. You know, they didn't have that type of influence. Not necessarily. Sometimes they do. And so I said, okay, let me kind of shift focus a little bit and not be trying to pursue a title per se as a manager, but be someone of influence, someone who is, you know, a person of the people.
Right.
And so leadership, just like words like success and things like that, those were kind of buzzwords. You know, it means a lot of different things. So I just began the exploration of understanding what is leadership about, you know, and, you know, trying to exude that myself, you know.
Cool. So leadership, development. Yeah. What does development look like to you in your world?
In my world, man. So development is just this is what it is. You know, you're developing, you're growing. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm developing, it's not talking about development. It's bumps and bruises along the way. Like there's a little diagram they show online where they show success and they show like from A to B.
Right.
And people think it's a straight line, you know what I'm saying? But it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of squigs and squiggles and ups and downs and jagged edges and things like that. And so I said, okay, TOP, the Oniah project. So that's the project of me, of Arthur Oniah. So what I had to ask myself, what am I about? What is my life about? What is my legacy about? And leadership was number one, you know, striving for excellence. Yeah. And development, you know, which is giving myself grace, allowing myself to, you know, butterfly out, if you will, become, you know what I'm saying? And then like the last part is growth, you know, which kind of goes together with the development part.
Exactly.
Hopefully. When you're developing, you're not just like changing, but you're metamorphosing into something greater, you know. And so it's just always, it's just a constant growth, leadership, development, growth. If you grow up, you hit a plateau, go back to what leadership means.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Being on the front line, being with the people, you know, helping, serving, and through that you start developing, metamorphosing again, you grow again, and it's just a constant journey. It's something that I love, you know what I'm saying? I love to grow, I love to be at my best, you know. So
good deal, man. I like that. Leadership, development, and growth. How important, because you were talking, I mean, when you talk about leadership, when we talk about development and you talk about growth, that it's not something that we can do on our own individually. So there are other people that have a part to play in that.
Absolutely.
Whether it's mentorship, whether it's people who just support you, resources, and things like that. How important is networking?
Networking is everything. Yeah. It's funny you say that, because I was going to have I'm thinking about, actually we'll see, because I got a million one things on a plate, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking about, you know, the word network king, you know what I'm saying? It's king in it. Doing a little play on words with that, because I actually, I mentored people. I've been mentored. I'm still currently being mentored, you know, all the time. I firmly believe in mentorship, and in terms of developing and growing in oneself. But there was a young lady I talked to, and she was like, man, you're really good at this networking thing. Yeah. You know, and another guy was like, It's like, how do you network? You know, I kind of laughed at him.
Right.
You know, it was a mentee of mine, and I was like, wait a minute. He had a straight look on his face, like, no, I'm serious. Yeah, I was like, because it's always just comes second nature to me. Like, yeah, I do study things.
And you would think that other people, it comes natural to them.
You would think so, but you never know what people know, you know, until you find out. And so, networking, you know, in a business standpoint, to me, sometimes I feel kind of weird saying it because I've always come from the space of I just want to make friends.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you should make friends, you know, and be, you know, friendly with people. But also in life, you know, if you're adulting, you're trying to get ahead or do something, you want to have like friends with an intent.
That's right.
You know,
that's
what I'm saying?
Intentional. That's right.
And so I just feel like networking is everything. I've always been really good at it. I got a lot of friends from all around the map, and I just I'm just blessed and thankful. Like I always tell people, when my friends are successful and they're doing well, you know what I'm saying? Like it gets me more excited than my own success.
Right.
You know?
And I noticed that about you, man. You know, like you definitely are a networker. I mean, just the other day I reached out to you, and you know, you provided me with some go-to people for some things that I was looking for. Yeah. So I do believe, like you said, man, networking is key. Yeah. I remember when I first was introduced to networking, like you said, the true understanding of it, because I, like you, thought that networking was just building relationships, like, you know, friendships. Right. But it carries a little more weight than that. But I remember I was reading in the Bible. It was a story where Jesus told the disciples, they had been fishing, and he told the disciples, he said, go back out. They had came in, washed their nets, and they were through because they didn't catch anything. And Jesus was like, go back out and, you know, cast your nets again for another catch. And they were like, come on, Jesus, we've already been out here all day, and it's like, this is what we do. We're fishermen. You know, we know when it's time to put the nets up. Then he was like, no, go back out and do it. And they said, well, nevertheless, at your word, because you said it, we believe that something is going to happen this time, just because you said it. So they went back out, and when they got out there, they threw out the net, and it caught so many fish that they were unable to carry them back to shore on their boat. So they signaled for the other, the Bible says, their partners to come, and they came out with another ship, and they were able to put all the fish on the boat, on both of the boats, and get them back to the shore. I think that's really what networking is.
That's beautiful, man.
Because people try to do it all by themselves. Yes. And you can capture the big client. You know what I'm saying? You can capture the big deal. But you got to have a network of people who can assist you and support you with really making it happen. Right.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you hit it on that. That's one of my favorite scriptures. We was actually talking about that not too long ago in church. You know, there's this concept, and my brother really helped me with understanding it initially. It's about abundance, you know. Yeah. Some people think, you know, many people actually don't have an abundance mindset and understand that there's more out there.
It is
enough for everybody. Everyone. You know, and still have some extra, because we all want different things. True. You know, so like that scripture, I just feel like I do have the mentality first of, hey, I want to make a friend. Yeah. You know, because I understand friendship is important.
Yeah, it is.
But then I also have my own ambitions, and I noticed that, okay, I'm really good at putting people together. I'm really good at, you know, networking. And I thought, well, hey, if this person, maybe they're too shy, or like this person, I got the ham and they got the cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on together. I got some bread. Let's put it together. That's right. Let's make a sandwich, cut it up in four, and we can all eat. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna get tired of eating cheese by himself.
Exactly.
You're gonna get tired of eating bread. Yeah. And the other guy's gonna get tired of eating ham.
Yeah. So
but we can put it all together.
Bam. Then what you know, we got a sandwich.
That's
shop.
Right. That's right. So what do you think about? Because I know you're a philosophical guy. You know, I follow your channels, and we're going to get back to the other, the real people, real success. But when it comes to not only just like providing information to people, but like with your channels, you know, I know a lot of it is inspirational, a lot of it is educational. Which one do you think is the most important, or you think they both collaboratively work together, inspiration and education? You know, it's almost like motivation and knowledge. You know, like you can have, some people have one, but they don't have the other one.
Right. You know, that's a good question. I think the inspiration is a really big part.
Yeah.
And they both do work together, but the inspiration, I feel like ignites the desire for the knowledge.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
So you got to be turned on first before you even
That's right.
open the book or do something like that. So, and there's a great need for people, today to be able to inspire and motivate. And if you can kind of pepper in some interesting, topics or information or kick some real knowledge, like some tacit, something that you can walk away with, then I think you're winning. But most definitely the ability to influence and motivate people is extremely important. Some people argue and say that, oh well, that's not, like, you got too many people out here just like going rah rah rah, and people need to know how to, well, but you
need to rah rah rah.
You need to rah 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 because some people, if they don't see you're not excited, you have no passion for something, you're not on fire about something, like it's just gonna be like, oh, okay. I like to work with all kinds of people. Sometimes the bookworm might come in handy, but then sometimes you got the person that's just on fire, and they're like everybody want to come see them burn, So I'd much rather work with that person because I can teach that person what they need to know to do something. But it's hard to teach the drive and the determination.
That's deep, because you're right. You can you can't really teach a person how to be inspired. You know what I'm saying? How to have the drive to do what they need to do. So I think that's key. But I like the way you said it. Like, the inspiration has to come first because that's the ignition, and then the education piece can come next, because if they're inspired, they're going to be excited about the information.
They're more receptive to take it in too. Yeah. Now you got them. It's like you starting a gas lawnmower or something, right? You starting it from cold. You got to prime it. You know what I'm saying? You got to choke it. You got to get it juiced up, ready to go. Because when you go, you know what I'm saying? It's going to guggle up just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I was just cutting the grass the other day. Then I just kept priming it, kept choking it. I said, boom. I got that thing warmed up. But then, turn that little rabbit up. It was ready to run. Then
that's it.
I cutting grass. You know what I'm saying?
And any I don't care what it is. If it's business, if it's a corporation, organization, if it's ministry, if it's whatever. When you're dealing with people, that you're absolutely right. You have to get them primed up to get excited about where they're going and what they're going to do. Even in athletics, they don't just run out onto the court or to the field and just start playing, but they get amped up in the locker room before they hit the field or before they hit the court. So I think that's key, man. Real people, real success. Talk about it a little bit.
That's CTV. So that was I was at a point where I was just like, okay, I knew I had the TOP brand, and I was like, now Champions, CTV stands for Champions TV. Okay. Right? And the tagline for that is real people, real success. And the premise behind it was, okay, what I want to do. It's not even more so what I need to do. It's something I wanted to do, and coincidentally, my want was very much in line with what a need that's needed, which is, I feel like, filling the gap for not just the youth, but for people my age, older people, folks who are aspiring to do things in life, and they just feel like they need that spark. They need that inspiration. They need to see, hey, somebody's story who's been in the position that I want to be in, and get inspired and motivated by their story, both their ups and downs, and being able to say, hey, you know what, this person did it, or this person was going through it, and it's a real person, I'm saying, I'm getting to see them in a vulnerable space, and they have some real success, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. That's championship. I consider it a champion, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a champion to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a real person and you're showing real success, so.
What can people expect from TOP, CTV, and King Arthur in the future?
Oh man, so much. Right now I'm just narrowing down my focus. I always tell people you got to respect time, you know what I'm saying? Respect time, and understanding that time can also be an illusion. But if you're staying focused, if you have a plan written out, which I do, I mean, we're talking about, I got multiple business ideas that I'm putting in place, one in front of the other. Much like you, I got, I'm working on my autobiography. gonna get back into the music, making some more music. I got like a whole album recorded that a lot of my old fans don't even know about. New fans gonna hear some good quality music. Living my life, enjoying my life. Starting up. Well, I don't want to go into each little business, but I got different businesses. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And really just trying to bring more exposure to the channel and the brand and networking and finding more of those individuals who are real people who meet that CTV qualification, who are, like I said, who are willing to be vulnerable and still are strong and capable of handling their business and doing what they got to do, and showcasing that for the masses. Right. And TOP can always be here. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's me. So leadership development growth, man. And I like that TOP, man. I have a saying that says, I'll either see you at the top or from the top. So what to me that says is that's where I'm going to be regardless. So like if that's a place you're aspiring to be, then fine. If you're a hater, you're trying to stop me, that's fine. If you are a bystander, onlooker, that's fine. If you're trying to get there too, that's fine. But I'm going to either see you at the top or from the top. That's kind of like my philosophy. Like, I'm not going to let anything or anyone stop me from getting there. So, when I saw TOP, I just automatically was drawn to that. And I like what you said also about time, man. I think people have this misconception that success is something that you just walk into, or something that, but success to me is something that you attract by the person that you become. Right. So that goes back to all of the things you were talking about: leadership, development, and growth. Those are the things that attract success. When you're developing yourself and growing through leadership to become that person, then you attract it. Most people are after success. Right. But again, you're not going to catch it running after it. You're going to attract it by what you become and the principles, philosophies, and the things that you do. Right. And another thing, man, I'm telling you, dropped a lot of knowledge today. You really got my mind going, man. When you talked about time, I immediately thought about, I was at a speaking engagement. After each speaking engagement, I like to do Q&A. And I did the Q&A, and a person asked me, said, how do you know when basically saying to keep going or to stop. Like, when do you know, like, it's the time to stop or the time to keep going? That's perfect. And I said, well, when it comes to timing, I don't think it's, we was tying it into faith, and I was saying that with God lives outside of time. We live inside of time. So God has already laid out this wonderful plan for our life, but we just have to connect the dots. And so it's not a matter of time of like it's going to happen tomorrow, or because for some people it should have happened already, but it's that they haven't connected the dots yet. And so instead of waiting on success to happen, I believe that we have to take a proactive and intentional, as you said earlier, approach to making sure that we're connecting the dots and doing what we're supposed to do. And that's when the timing happens. It happens when we do our part. Right. And then I think that's when success is attainable, or that when we're attracted. When we connect all the dots. You become it. You become it. You become it, and you embrace the process of it. Exactly. So the process of just the grinding of it and the toiling, if you will, you know what I'm saying, becomes something where it reverses. It becomes a joy to you. It becomes something where it's like, okay, well, you're in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. So it's just a flow of things. And so me being the success that I am, wanting to attract certain successful individuals, maybe in different industries, it's more so about, it's usually, in my opinion, not a tacit thing that I'm going out and doing, but it's more so about becoming in a matter of mindsets, state that I'm in. Exactly. In fact, like I notice, like every time, and this has been for several years now, I get really big into like I am affirmations. And any of y'all out there can look it up, man. You can just YouTube I am affirmations and just meditate. I talk about meditation, how important that is to be able to be in a space where you say faith. Right. You are in line with faith. You're not lying to yourself. You're not saying, no, I got faith. I got faith. And hallelujah and everything else. Like, no, it's like, do you really have faith? Because then that faith will calm you and put you in a spirit where it's like, you know what? It's already been done. And you just go out there and just be you and be your greatest self at peace and enjoy, and you naturally attract that energy. So that's something I've been doing. It's something anytime I feel like I'm straying away, like I think you said, Freddie asked you a question about it. You know, if I feel like I'm like, okay, things kind of feeling like unsettled and stuff, I say, okay, woo, step back.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Cancel that meeting or reschedule this, that. You know what I'm saying? And just get back to that state. And for me, that's like getting in my word, getting in my church, getting into my meditations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being back here, you know what I'm saying? Bama land is like,
telling you, man,
helps me tremendously because I'm just like surrounded
environment.
around. Absolutely, you know, so that's attracting is something that I don't think you can learn overnight. It took me several years to get it down, and it's still a learning process, but I mean, you said it, that's what it's about, you know, so you gotta be, your spirit has to be calm in order to receive, you know, so that's why I made the move back. One of the bigger reasons why is just a boss move.
Entrepreneur, educator, artist.
Yeah.
How do you balance wearing those different hats?
Man, just like I said, man, it's tough. Now people say, I mean, there's different arguments out there. One says you can't do a bunch of different things. You have to do one thing to its fruition.
I've heard that. Yeah.
And then, you know, and that's it. Then you do the next one, And my brother, you know what I'm saying, is like hard on me about that because he's very much that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And that works, you know. But I do a lot of self work. I do a lot of self analysis. If I'm not looking into business or something like that, I'm doing self work, development work. And you start to find things out about yourself, like an athlete learns their body. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, Arthur, you want to be in that flow state where you're actively accomplishing and achieving, and you're on fire. So what is it that's doing that for you? And for me, it's taking something here, running with it, okay, boom. And then if I have another thing that's going like side by side with it, I put some more attention to this right here. So it's kind of like I feel like I am moving everything forward at the same time, but it's just like what's popping right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people say that might be like an ineffective way of going about doing it, and I can see what they're saying. It really probably comes down to the language of the way I'm putting it. Yeah. But
no, I've heard both perspectives.
Yeah. But you know, right now, like I said, I am just kind of narrowing my focus down on one thing at a time. But if you have several projects or several ideas that kind of work together, right? You know, like ours do, I think it's important to be able to prepare and plan and have all that stuff together. And then once you have your full, you know, game plan, then it's just a matter of, you know, methodically going through each one. Got it. And you know, keeping grounded each day, and showing that grit. You know what I'm saying? So, kind of got off track with the portion of the question. But
no.
I think it was
balancing those
balancing it out, man. It's just, it can become overwhelming, but because of the nature of like who I am, who I want to be, and where I want to go with my career, I know that I'm helping other people with the same thing that I might struggle with myself. So I've always doubled down on the faith and the meditation practices and things like that, because that's been a game changer for me. Yeah, big time.
And I think that's it, man. You know, and even, you know, like you were saying about, you know, even though you wear those different hats, you know how to balance it, because you got to move with what's moving. You know, because you can be dealing with one thing, and like I said, it's not moving right now, and that's fine. You're still working on that. It's not like you put it on the back burner. You just let it. Well, I kind of see it like, I remember my wife knows how to do it, and my mother knows how to do it. And I remember seeing my grandmother do it, and I never could figure out how she did it. But when they cook a meal, a meal doesn't consist of just one thing. But man, she would mix up the cornbread. And then she'll put the chicken in the oven. Yeah. You know, she's already cut up a cabbage. She'll have them boiling. Then, you know, she'll come back to this, go back to that. And it's like certain things, they're just settling. They're just right there in their place doing their thing. But then the chicken needs some attention. You need to, you know, pull it out, check it with the thermostat to make sure it's right, put it back in. But the whole time you're doing that, your chicken, your everything else is still doing its thing.
It's still one meal.
It's still one meal
that's moving in the direction of, you know,
that's
being ready to be eaten.
But the amazing thing is I was getting to is that they had the finesse and the ability to calculate and strategically put everything in its place so that when one thing got done, the next thing got done, and you make the only thing you may be waiting on. She said, "I'm waiting for the bread to get done, then we can eat."
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, but that's so real. I love that, dude. I love that. It's so real because think about it, right? Like you talking about cooking and making a meal. You know what I'm saying? That people want to sit down and eat. And then I'm talking about like the mind, like we are talking about the mindset, right?
That's it.
Well, think about it. That's like it just made me laugh.
Man, I got you. Yeah, that's the mindset you gotta have.
Some people say like they always say like when you're in the kitchen, like people want to be rubbernecking and doing like no, get out the kitchen, like because they gotta keep their mind on point while they're doing their thing.
That's right.
Funny.
So that's good, man.
Yeah.
Last but not least, man, I definitely think I really like kicking it with you, man. I love your perspective, your point of view, and I'm sure there's some people want to know. You know, when it comes to TOP, CTV, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Oniah, the educator, the artist, the entrepreneur, like, how can they follow you, and how can they, you know, where can they go to learn more about you?
Yeah, so, well, I'm on pretty much most of the main socials, Instagram, Facebook. I don't do Snapchat, but I got Instagram, Facebook, you know, YouTube. If you're doing the socials, there's Arthur Oniah, it's ARTHURONIAH, and the YouTube is Oniah Project. So you look up the Oniah Project. A lot of material. So that right there is a slow cook and roast right now.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But I've been I got a lot of content and stuff like that I'm putting together to put on there and give it an exciting look. But so right now you'll see me branding a lot of stuff. The CTV with the golden fist.
Sure thing.
You know, TOP got the goat with the mountains that it's climbing up of. And yeah, man, just stay in tune like that through the social media, and you'll kind of catch and see where I'm at all the time. Yeah. So.
Sounds good, man. Well, again, thank you for your time, man.
You too, bro.
I'm sure the people are going to appreciate this information, man. And again, I just wish you much success. And I don't have to say I'll see you from the top at the top. I know we'll see each other at the top.
Amen.